Hey everybody, do you wish that you could get a fast lens, something that shoots like 1.8 or 1.4, but you just can't afford that lens? They're so darn expensive. Well, AI says you don't really have to spend that kind of money on lenses if you don't want to. Are we ready for this? Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, this channel is dedicated to increasing your creativity, sort of thinking out of the box as a photographer and as a photo artist. Okay, with that out of the way, let's jump into our program, and that is, man, I'll tell you, AI, I've been playing with different things. If you saw some of my past videos, we know that I don't have to worry about probably ever buying a camera in the near future, if at all, because the camera I have does what I need to do. But I was playing with an old 15-year-old camera I have. It's a Canon 50D. It's 15 megapixel, and the highest you can go on the ISO is 3200. Not 32,000, but 3200. So why would I need to spend money on a new camera, which I have after that? But my point is this: taking a 15-year-old camera, I went out and did some test shoots. I did low light. So I had to do 3200 ISO. What did I get? Digital noise, because the technology was not that great at that time. I could shoot with soft lenses if I want. And what else can we do? Oh, 15 megapixel file size. Okay, with AI, guess what happens? That camera now shoots 60 megapixels. Why I need 60 megapixels, I don't know. And I've printed wedding albums and other stuff with that 15 megapixel camera. But if I need, I can enhance that in software, which is Photoshop, Lightroom. They have an enhanced feature that we can actually increase that size. It'd be 4 times the size. And unbelievable. And the quality of that. The other thing is, if your images are a little bit soft, you know there's plugins to sharpen up the image. And there's other software out there that I was playing with that actually now Photoshop is doing it. They're adding that capability into their softwares. But if you get digital noise, there's some really cool plugins that just clean that right up. So you don't have to worry about how good your camera is under low light. Now, for me, it doesn't matter because professionally, I don't shoot low light anyhow. But for the ones that do, unbelievable that I can take an old camera like I have and get the same result as a new camera. Now let's talk about lenses, because a lot of people can't afford to go out there and buy a 1.4 lens because they want to really open wide and get that blurry background, or a 1.8. So they tend to go out and buy a lens that's, well, I even have that shoots 4.0 all the way up as you zoom back and forth. But if I try to drop it down to, say, 2.8, as soon as I start to zoom in, it goes to 4.0 and all the way out to, let's see, 150. Is my f-stop. But with AI, I know companies aren't going to like this. Lens companies are not going to like this. But there's the need to get that kind of lens to have that blurry background. Ooh, this is all being driven now by AI. So let's take a look at what's in Photoshop right now in the latest version. It's a beta version, but not a beta version of Photoshop. It's the latest version of Photoshop. But we have something that we can use to create that illusion that I shot this with the 1.4, the 1.8 lens. So are we ready for this? Let's do it. Now, before we do that, if you can do me a favor, if you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe if you have not subscribed, and also hit the notification bell so that way the next time I upload a video, which is about every week, you'll get notified when that happens. All right, so right here now in Photoshop, I'm going to show you a couple images. This one right here looks like it was shot at, I forgot to look at the metadata, but probably 2.8 on that. But I'd like to have that blurred a little bit more in the background. So if we go under this area called Filter in the program and drop down menu right here, and there's something called Neural Filters. Now, when this opens up, if you're fairly new to that section, you'll have to download what's called Depth Blur down here. And it's still in beta, but I'm going to activate this to turn it on. And there's a few things in here I wish Adobe changes. And again, it's still in beta, so maybe they will change it. But first of all, if you see here, this is checked off automatically where it says focus subject. That's what I want to have on. And then the strength of the blur. Well, if I push this all the way to 100, let's see what happens. Now, it takes a few seconds for it to process. So I see in the screens here it says processing. And let's take a look at before. And there is after. Before, after. Now, what I wish Adobe would do is if we come down here, we can see that there's something called like temperature, tint, saturation, brightness. Well, if I pull the brightness down, as an example, I would really like to have the background go dark, but it's not. It's the entire image, and I wish it would do that. Same thing if I go to brightness and go to the opposite side, and it increases the brightness of everything. And again, I wish it would just do that for the background. But again, maybe that will be changed, modified with the updates, because again, it is in beta version. You could add grain if you want, and down here, you can actually select a new layer. You can go to new layer with mask. When you click on that, click on OK, it'll just apply that to that image. And you'll see right here, there's a before, after, before, after. And then there's the mask right here. Now I did another image. Let's take a look at this. Because this one is interesting because this is shot, the background is not like straight on. It goes back on an angle and you can see it's slightly blurred already back there. This could have been shot at could have been 4.0, even maybe 2.8. Again, I forgot to look at the metadata, but doesn't matter. If we go back to, again, the filter drop-down menu in Photoshop and choose Neural Filters, we'll come up with the same dialog box here. And let's take a look at, I don't know if I can make this smaller. Yes, I can. So you can see everything here. And I'll turn on the feature, the beta version of this. And then right here for the blur strength, again, I'm just going to push this all the way up so we can see this. I mean, we're over-exaggerating this, but look at that. I mean, over here, it's less blurry, and as you go back, it blurs, 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 blurs. So you can play with this and make it look like you're shooting that with a very expensive lens. In fact, I'm going to put it right there, and there's a before, after, before, after. So again, on the output, I'm just going to say, hey, let's do a new layer with a mask again. Click on OK. Let it do its thing. And there you can see before, after, before, after. I mean, AI technology is getting really freaky, in my opinion. I know a lot of hardware companies don't like this because the need to, say, upgrade to a camera isn't as strong as it used to be unless you broke the camera or got, 300, 400, 500,000 frames on that camera, and that's about the average life of a camera where things start to break down. Once you hit around 350, 400, your higher end cameras is usually about a 500,000 frames. But a lot of people I know can't afford a fast lens like a 1.4, 1.8. In fact, sometimes people can't even afford a 2.8. So they're going to a 4.0 lens. I'm telling you, try this feature out in Photoshop. This is just incredible AI technology. All right, so with that out of the way, if you can do me a favor again, and that is please like the video, subscribe if you have not subscribed, hit the notification bell. If you have a question or suggestion on something I should take a look at or talk about in photography, my email address is right down there. It is stephenphotoartist@gmail.com. Again, stephenphotoartist@gmail.com. All right, so with that out of the way, I'm just going to challenge you, get out there, get that camera out, take some photographs, make mistakes. Why do I always say make mistakes? This is the way we learn, is by making mistakes. So get out there and literally think out of the box. Until next time, see ya.